What's poppin', y'all? I'm here to talk about the buffs and changes I've got from my boy Galvantula. I love Galvantula, I love bug types, and I've gave my boy some really cool new things to work with. So in this ROM hack, I balance every single Pokemon to have 3 good abilities that they can switch between that have different purposes. And I also, make sure they don't overlap with other Pokemon. And there's a whole bunch of other really important stuff that, if you're new here, I recommend you pause the video and read the description. I've got a bullet point list that explains the basic principles and ideas behind the ROM hack, but a lot of the buffs and changes come from new moves and move buffs and changes. So definitely make sure y'all give that a read. And it also just explains a lot of my philosophy and balancing and stuff. But if you're returning here, shout out to you. I appreciate you. Make sure if you're new or returning, you drop a comment. It'd be very helpful for me and the algorithm. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, actually, no, I'm bulk recording. So, all right, Galvantula. So I've given Galvantula mixed attacking. I mean, technically in vanilla, it's already a pseudo mixed attacker where it has like 77 attack, 97 physical attack, and then it has like a mixed learn set, right? I think it makes sense with the whole spider thing going on. Ariados is a physical attacker, stuff like that, right? Obviously, it makes more sense to be specially leaning. Number one, I like mixed attackers, especially in a ROM hack with infinite move relearner, and in a ROM hack where you have so many move options and you're supposed to be, planning your boss fights thoroughly. You can take advantage of your physical or special attack stat depending on what's more advantageous at that point in the fight, or at that point in the game. So, or just based on the matchup. So I love that. I think it's really cool. So they've got Hustle for physical attack, Electric Surge, which works with both physical and special attack, but obviously it's better for special attack, and also has utility, which I'll talk about in a bit. And then Intimidate, which is like an actual utility ability. So if you go to, hold on, I gotta type in Galvantula real quick. If you go to Galvantula and you look at the abilities it has on Nerve, right? So in my head, basically every Pokemon with on Nerve makes sense to have Intimidate, because conceptually they're pretty much the same ability, right? The only one on this list I would really say doesn't make sense for Intimidate is actually no, basically every single one fits enough, yeah. So if anything, you could argue like Galvantula is the least fitting one, but it still makes enough sense for sure. I mean, it's a giant spider, right? So Intimidate's great. It makes its 70, 60, 60 bulk much, much, much better. And you also have good pivot moves like U-turn and Volt Switch, and good support like Taunt and Silk Trap and all this other stuff, Sticky Web. I even gave them very early Strength Sap, incredibly early Strength Sap as a Joltik because of the whole tick theme, I think that's really cool. And even stuff like Nuzzle, which drops attack, physical attack, and paralyzes. So even early game, despite Joltik's horrible bulk, it's pretty, it's got some cool utility, especially with Wimp Out. And Unnerve is also a great early game ability for Joltik because of the berries being more prominent on the AI in the early game, so you can ignore those completely, and that's definitely a good thing to have. And Electric Surge is still there, so this thing is like a glass cannon for early game. It's very strong and very fast on the special side with Electric Surge. And then you have that Wimp Out, which is a really good utility ability because you only get one single use eject button per boss fight. So obviously you have pivot moves and stuff, but just being able to send in your Joltik, deal some damage, kill something, and then get locked into Wimp Out range is really good, just to get a free switch. Especially when it's frail Pokemon, you can make sure that attack is getting you below half and just get the free switch, and it's really good. So Wimp Out's awesome, and Unnerve is cool, turning into Intimidate. And yeah, Hustle. So I gave them Hustle, which makes their physical attack stat much higher than their special attack stat, and they also have quite a few moves that don't miss. So not only can you abuse Wide Lens, which is now buffed to synergize with Hustle, and also just with moves in general. So for example, if you run Volt Tackle, Hustle, Wide Lens, you get the Hustle boost and you can't miss. And you can still switch moves. So it's basically sort of like a choice band that takes up your items, takes up your ability slot as well. But you can switch moves. So that's really strong. You also have quite a few moves that don't miss even without a Wide Lens. So you have priority moves like First Impression, Creeping Strike, and Spark, which don't miss. And you have some coverage, also like Stab, like U-turn, and Lunge. And then you also have coverage like Acrobatics and Lash Out. So that's all really great, even Finishing Blow, which gives you +3 attack when you kill something. And this thing is very fast, although you have to keep in mind for in-game standards, for a ROM hack like this, 126 base speed looks incredibly fast, and it is fast, but you're not guaranteed a plus speed nature, and you're only getting 20 speed IVs on all the eggs in the game. So you're not actually hitting 126 base speed unless you get a plus speed nature, and even then, you're probably hitting more like 122-ish base speed because of your IVs being at a disadvantage compared to the AI's IVs. But yeah, this thing has tons of powerful stab moves on the special side as well. Bug Bomber is a special bug type surging strikes, can't be used twice in a row. Same with High Voltage, that's a Wicked Blow variant that also can't be used twice in a row. You've got high base power physical moves like Electro Assault, which is like essentially electric type superpower. It drops attack by -2. Same with stuff like Giga Impact and Hyper Beam and all that crap. Silk Trap is a really cool tool on them because despite the fact that they're already quick, like I just talked about the speed tier stuff, right? So if you send in your Galvantula or you lead off with it and you click Silk Trap on something that's faster than you and then they hit you with a contact move, you can then outspeed and kill them for free the next turn. So that's also really fun. And then obviously Sticky Web is useful, especially on Galvantula. Like you can use the webs yourself on Galvantula because you're a fast, strong Pokemon. But you can also use it for like teammates, right? So either way, it's great. Short Circuit and Zap Cannon are both very high base power moves with Electric Surge, 130 and 140 power. Short Circuit essentially works like Burn Up, it drops your electric typing and paralyzes, but you can't click it twice in a row, and then because you lose your typing, right? And then with Zap Cannon, it's even stronger, it's essentially electric type Draco Meteor. And then you've got Rising Voltage, which is great with Scarf or Specs, which you can't use with moves like High Voltage, Short Circuit, and Zap Cannon. Oh, I probably should have addressed the whole fucking Compound Eyes thing, right? Because I know somebody's going to whine about that. So in this... I wish I said that earlier. So in this game, there are only 26 inaccurate moves in the entire game. And out of these, the only ones that Galvantula makes sense to use are Supercell Slam, Thunder, Zing Zap, and Trailblaze, I guess, and then maybe like Flare Blitz and Gunk Shot. Like, no, sorry, Jesus, not Flare Blitz. I don't know how I misspoke that bad. Gunk Shot and... What the fuck am I trying to say? What's the other move? Focus Blast. Maybe Focus Blast. And even then, I didn't give it to him, right? Because I just don't like the idea of it. And he also has Takedown for physical, for fighting type coverage. Because, he's a mixed attacker now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea of Galvantula doing that kind of thing. I just don't think it's very good. It gets very underwhelming as Compound Eyes. Like Electric Surge is just much, much better. And I also, the most importantly, reworked Compound Eyes. If you go to the ability guide, Compound Eyes is now called... Sixth Sense, and that is given to other types of Pokemon, which can abuse multiple inaccurate moves, typically a sleep move as well, right? So they can take advantage of like stab, high base power moves, coverage moves, and all that stuff, which Galvantula's move pool and design just does not synergize very well with. So yeah, no more Compound Eyes. It's pretty underwhelming in the context of this ROM hack, because even like Electric Surge boosted Thunderbolt or Thunder Cage is much stronger than, you know, Compound Eyes Thunder. So yeah. Honestly, that's kind of it. I'm pretty sure I pretty much rapid fired through everything. Like I said, the utility stuff with Intimidate is great. You've got like Intimidate plus switch moves. You've got Intimidate plus screens, plus Acid Reflux, plus Toxic Spikes, whatever you want to do. And then that Hustle, I guess I can give you an exact calculation of how strong that physical attack stat is with Hustle, because it is very strong. So 97 is hitting 423. Yeah, dude, you're hitting like 160, 168 base physical attack with Hustle. Very, very, very strong. Of course, you have to hold Wide Lens or use one of those many moves that don't miss, but even, you know, even like a Banded First Impression Galvantula can like grab a kill really easily in a boss fight and then switch out, whatever you want to do. Or you could do like Life Orb First Impression, then you turn out, and then, you know, continue the cycle. That kind of thing is great. Also, Sucker Punch, I forgot to mention. Sucker Punch is another priority, not miss. So, yeah. Overall, Galvantula's super dope. I love this guy. Also, like, Electro Shot's pretty cool because it's so fast. So you can do, like, an Electro Shot, give yourself a special attack boost, and then go from there. Keep in mind, it only has 1 PP, but just because otherwise you could spam it too much in the rain, and it's, like, kind of OP because I've given it to a bunch of electric types. But with 1 PP, it's just a really strong boosting option / nuke option. Incredibly high base power move. That's basically it, guys. So I appreciate you listening if you made it to the end. I guess I can quickly touch on some other early game stuff with Joltik, because like I said, I gave it Strength Sap early game because despite the fact that it's incredibly frail, I like being able to take advantage of such a strong healing move early game. You also got Recharge, which heals you and boosts the power of your next electric attack. You've got Shockwave for electric type priority. Electro Web drops speed by -2. You've got Parabolic Charge, which I like the whole healing theme that Joltik has going on, given that it's a tick, right? So you've got Parabolic Charge, Siphon, Mega Drain, Strength Sap, Recharge, all these early game moves, even Nuzzle, like, that are just really cool, like supportive type healing type moves. So yeah, shout out to you if you made it to the end, guys. Seriously, drop a comment if you did. Let me know who you are, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace, y'all.